As we turn our attention to lesson 5.6, what we're working with in 5.6, we're talking about improper fraction and mixed numbers. So let's look at this one way. If I have 1/4, I'm going to add it to 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. So if I add that all together, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my language is quarters, so 5/4. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an improper fraction. Now, the reason why we call it improper fraction is according to the math rules, your numerator, which is again the top number, should be greater than the bottom number. Because once we get over here, we should convert and we should change things. And we should change things to a mixed number. Now, visually, this is the same thing. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. Now, let's look at this model a different way. Let's take this, and let's cut this in half, cut this in half. So now we have quarters. Now let's take 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. Well, if I look at it this way, boys and girls, what do I have? Well, this way I have 1, that's right here, and then I have 1 and 1/4. Now, just like the decimal point, this is 1 and 1/4. Just like this was 1 and 25/100ths. 1 1/4, 1 and. So this in between here, whenever you see that, that's and that acts like a decimal point, just like we have there. We're going to say and. And that's why if we have this number here, I don't want you to say that's 103, because it's not 103, it's 103. 103 would look like that. So a little different in terms of numbers. So right here we have an improper fraction, and I forgot that I should probably label this one too. That's a mixed number. And a mixed number is, just as you would think, a mix between a whole number, ta-da, and a fraction, ta-da, whereas an improper fraction is all fractions. So let's look at these, this right here. Oops, I need my writing instrument here, I apologize. So I have this, and I have this. So when I write this, I want to know what this looks like as a mixed number and as an improper fraction. Well, we know our language. Let's work with improper fraction first. We know our language is thirds. Okay, so how many thirds do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 thirds. Now, as a mixed number, we can write it as, well, this is 1 whole, 1 and 2 thirds. Let's look at this one here. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. That's a lot of 1/4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, when we look at this as a improper fraction, we know our language is fourths. So we got, see, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Now, what is the top number going to be? Well, let's just add them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oops. 11/4. Now, what is that as a mixed number? Well, what we're going to do is we're just going to start sectioning them off in groups of 4. So that's 1. That's 2. And now I only have 1, 2, 3. So I need to write my or. I have 2 wholes and 3 fourths. So let's look at this one then here. Let's pretend those are perfect circles, and I have cut them in half perfectly with my line, and now we need to do some shading. what is this as a whole number, and what is this as a, what is this as an improper fraction, and what is this as a mixed number? Pause the video and solve it, and then restart it when you're ready. Alright, let's do improper fraction first. Well, the first thing we have to figure out our language. What language is this? Well, everything is cut into halves. So our language is halves. Oh, that's horrible. Let's just erase that. Okay. Again, our language is halves. And how many halves do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 halves. Now, when we look at a mixed number, the question is, how many wholes do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 wholes, and then what's left over? 1 half. So our answer is 3 and 1 half. So there we have it. We have improper fractions and mixed numbers, and kind of how to discern between the two. The next video, we're going to talk about how do we convert from mixed number to improper fraction and improper fraction to mixed number.